Greetings and welcome. And understanding the energies of the new moon is very important in terms of, well, the new moon's forming the template for the entire lunar cycle. So if you understand these energies, that's going to really help you in this coming month. So that's what we're going to do right now. Welcome to the Medium channel. If you're watching this as a video rather than live, I'll give the live people a few minutes to, a minute or two to get their notifications to come in live, and then we'll start the event. And I already need water. I'm a minute or two late because I was just doing a live Facebook event, doing like readings and messages on a live Facebook event with my friend and colleague Diana Friedel. So that was kind of cool. So here I am. It's been a busy day, and then when I'm done with this, I've got a few other things I need to do. For example, tomorrow at 7, Heather Istara and myself are going to do powerful healing and energetic transmissions with the healing masters. Her guides, the master teachers, who a lot of you know, you've worked with us already. So we're going to do some very powerful new moon work tomorrow at 7 here live here on the Medium channel. Then, of course, like this video, you can watch this as a video later on as well. So this will help to set your energies, to align you with the frequencies, the new frequencies of this new moon, to kind of get you set and going in the right direction, because everything's changing. Let me put my glasses on because I mean business. I've got pages of notes I need to get through. So I'm going to say my hellos and hi, Pat DeSantis. Welcome. Happy June. By the way, the June psychic forecast is up already. We did that a few days ago. Hi, Mafe Martinez and Claire, Millie, and hi, Millie, and hi, Mr. Floyd, channeling, and Angela and Brooke and Roseanne and Huda. And Tina Smith, welcome. And hi, Michael. Hi, Suzette. Hi, Doreen of Children's School Yoga. Hi, Victoria. Santiago. All right. Yeah, one of the reasons I say hello to people is kind of nice because we're a community. But another reason is, it just gives me a minute or two to let the live people come in. So I see Yvonne came in. Dora came in. All right. I'm not going to do too much with the chats. If you like more of that community kind of vibe, we do that at tarot time on Sundays at 11 a.m. So we do that every week. I mean, this is still a community, but it's not like we're going to have like a group discussion, because I'm actually going to, kind of run this more like a video than anything, just because there's a lot of information to get out and everything. And hello, Josh and Spirit Mind family. Thank you for that. And thank you all, you guys, for sharing your hellos. So let's get to the nitty gritty. There's a lot going on astrologically. A lot of it's benevolent. So if you think it's going to be all like, oh my God, what's he going to say this month? More doom and gloom, more chaos. Well, that's there, but there's a lot of positive and beneficial aspects also. And yeah, thank you. If you hit the like button, that helps to get this out to more people. So new moon's only hours away. It's 8:36 a.m. June 6th. That's tomorrow. It's right on D-Day. So, June 6th has a very significant meaning in history, obviously, as the World War II kind of progressed. Does that mean with this new moon in Gemini and all the aspects, this is going to be like a spike in more world conflicts? Yes and no. And I'll get into that a little bit more. But 8:36 June 1st. So it's at 16 degrees Gemini. We've had it was all I think it's all the full moons in the winter we're hitting on the 16th degree point. And that's been coming up a lot. Now 16 significant because it's the Tower card. So the number 16 is really, it's also the Shattered Citadel in Chaldean numerology. That's the symbol. So when you get the 16 energy, it's going to help to level that's unsustainable, take the tower down to rebuild on stronger foundation. As I'm talking, they're showing me money. So expect the financial markets to really be one of the highlights this month. I'll put it that way. It's also June 6, 2024 is also an 11 universal day. So you add 6 and 6 and or does it actually comes out to a 20, but but it's a similar vibe. 6 and 6 and 8, that's a 20. So it's a 20 universal day, which is slightly different meaning, but it's more succinct because the number 20, that's the awakener. That's kind of like the initiation number and the awakening, but it really helps to overcome a lot of things. So So I feel like Spirit's saying it's also an 11 universal day. It just depends on how you add up the numbers and everything. But in any regards, whatever the case may be, lots of changing. Now Venus is going to be conjuncting the new moon. How lovely! Venus is a very lovely vibe and a very lovely energy. So Venus is hanging out around 16 degrees. Also, it's moving as well. 5 planets in Gemini if you include the sun and the moon. I'm not even counting the asteroids. So there's probably asteroids and other heavenly bodies that are in Gemini. Gemini is the duality. It's the communicators. Things move fast in Gemini also. And that would include, besides the sun and the moon, Mercury, Venus, and Jupiter. So Jupiter is going to also lend a very favorable vibe here, I want to say as well. Venus and is going to be squaring Saturn. That peaks on June the 8th, but it'll still be active. Saturn's in Pisces about 17 or 18 degrees. I think it's about 18 degrees. So basically discover the subconscious patterns behind your challenges personally and globally. Like Saturn is kind of like a square of Saturn's kind of like a checking energy. If anybody's like a fellow New York Rangers fans, and you have my condolences if you are also, think of Matt Rempe leveling a hit. That's basically what Saturn does. But Saturn is karma. It's to help us to learn. It's discipline. So it's not necessarily a bad thing, but because it's in Pisces, discover the subconscious patterns behind your challenges. This is a good moon for that. Another thing that I would say to you guys is look at your own charts, get your own natal chart done. If you like sidereal or Placidus, Western or Eastern or Vedic astrology, use the system you're familiar with. It's different in Vedic, by the way. But that said, see where this new moon is hitting in your chart, like what house it's in. It's in my 5th house, and that means something. That's the house of kind of like the public. It's like children. It's more recreational in a way. So it's in my 5th house, but see where it is and see what it's aspecting, because that'll give you more of a personal blueprint. Again, the new moon is the template. The next whole lunar cycle is going to kind of build on that template. So again, understanding this, you'll have a big leg up. You'll be able to, you won't know everything that's going on, but you'll be able to anticipate something. So anyway, what else worth noting? Okay, right. I write this in my notes. The full moon, that's going to be. I didn't even write the date down. The 21st. It's right after the winter solstice. So the full moon's going to be on the world axis. The world axis is 0 degrees of the cardinal signs, or the signs that lead the season. So 1 degree Cancer, that's where the full moon's going to be on the world axis, or actually the full moon's on Capricorn. The sun's in 1 degree Cancer, and 1 initiates new beginnings. So that's part of this energy also. And it's going to assist in tearing down these facades that have been standing way too long, in my opinion. And a lot of this is really going to hit on the world politics and the world financial structure and the world financial system. So, and with its Gemini energy, things happen fast. It's the faster side of Mercury. It's the communication. It's kind of like the internet age, the technology age, and all that stuff. As a result, especially with Saturn squaring and a few choice Uranus aspects along the way, there could be some glitches in communications and stuff like that. I wrote in my notes to mention Anthony Fauci, just because roughly 2 years ago I did a whole live stream on him. What was covered up, from what I understand, what Spirit was downloading to me, as well as what my research revealed and what I feel. Did a whole live stream on that, very specific stuff. A lot of it's yet to happen, at least on the surface, but it's happening now. It's like a lot's going to be rising to the surface. This has been something we talk about every single month, because that's what's going on in the world. More and more stuff is rising to the surface. So I think between now and August, Fauci, the WHO, all these organizations, and the agendas behind things, and the information that was less than accurate that's been admitted to some degree, I think we're going to hear more about that. They've shown me like trials like in September. So there may even be, something like that. We'll see when we get there. But they someone mentioned that. All right, so let's go to the 5 things that we need to know, and then I have a couple of spiritual exercises, and I should have mentioned in the beginning, but I didn't. So I'll mention now that we always like to do divination cards as well. I think Mafe saying that she remembers when I did the live stream. Oh, it's another Rangers fan. No, yeah. I'm sorry, Jacob True is not Mark Messier. Yes, so I'm digressing a little bit. Plus, no comment. I'm not going to get into hockey now, but and anyways, you're right, Michael. You're right about that. So number 1 is breakdown to breakthrough. I've used this term before. Yeah, with this 16-degree energy that breaks things down, but we need breakdowns to break through. So I've got all these notes to read to you and to add on as I get things. She is saying 7th house is Gemini, 3rd South Node. Wow, so this is going to be very important, your own spiritual breakthroughs, Christina. Very good. Or is it Tina? Oh, we'll say Christina for now. Okay. Anyway, so breakdown to breakthrough. The system at large will take further hits. Communication affects possible sanctions in the news. I don't know what that exactly that means, but there may be some things that are deliberately like this is something new, deliberately being censored or whatever, or things getting pulled from the news or stuff like that. Further exposures, we're getting some exposures. It's going to continue to ramp up, and new players in global corruption get revealed. And I think people are probably listening saying, and this is like good news, that there's some good. Well, yeah, this stuff needs to be exposed. How are we going to evolve if the darkness isn't revealed, basically? So shine that light on the shadow. That can go personally also. What happens in the outer world is a macrocosm of what's happening in our inner universe and environment. There's no separation. So, according to quantum law, well, to the degree that we understand that, nothing outside of yourself is separate from anything going on inside of yourself. So all the stuff that's going on, good versus evil, the breakdowns and the teardown, it's something that's happening within the human collective. So we need to stay on our spiritual path and stay in our part. Our heart is that place of unity. Gemini is a very polarizing energy, not in a negative way. It just is the sign of duality. It's the twins, and physical reality wouldn't exist without duality. So it's certainly nothing negative, unless you want to exist as pure ether, which doesn't sound bad to me. But in any event, it all needs to come out. So changes in defense spending and contracting. So that tells me that new conflicts are rising up. Again, I think it's an agenda, but that whole like WW3 thing, all that kind of stuff. As I'm talking, my spirits are talking this. They're hanging that over your guys' heads, is what they're saying. Yeah, there's things that are going on. Yeah, there's things that have to get worked out in the world and stuff like that. But there's so much that's orchestrated. But some entities are going to start to buck the system, and that's when things are going to get really interesting. That they're not going to play the game so much anymore. And we'll see how that affects the summer trend, this new moon cycle and into the next one. And new countries and global conflicts. Okay, changes in defense spending. What did I write? 11. Well, it's not really 20, but 11 also overcomes potential obstacles. For us, read the signs, think outside the box. That's sort of a with Pluto now in Aquarius, Pluto's actually going to back into Capricorn for a minute in the end of the summer into the autumn, like 2 months, I think. But for all intents and purposes, Pluto's in that sign. The planet of regeneration is in that sign of evolution, revolution, and consciousness. So big changes. Solar storms, power outages. And I'm kind of disappointed that we didn't get a big solar flare, although in a way maybe it's a good thing because that can damage things also. But then like I often say, if I say something that turned out to be incorrect as a psychic prediction, I'll be the first to admit it. I was seeing a big solar flare right around now, and Spirit saying, it's not over yet. The window's not over yet. It may still happen. But then anyway, if not now, I think that's going to happen later. And anyway, I'm digressing. Solar storms, power outages, extreme weather, heat, fire, floods. Something that I didn't write in, but it's very relevant. That there's very often geocentric activity, like things going on in the earth that reflect the solar activity. And I think what what people are finding that study the Schumann resonance, and there's another one, that there's a lot going on in the earth. There's a lot changing, within the vibration and frequency of the earth. As the sun transmits, that's what's part of what the solar flares are about. It's transmissions of the central sun, or the higher frequencies of our physical sun or physical universe. It transmits, and the earth receives, and the earth responds, and we receive and we respond, because we're not separate from the earth. So make sure you get your rest. Even if you're not sleeping, spend at least a few hours lying down and just being present. It affects people's sleep patterns. This has been going on in a while. So extreme weather, all right. That's part of course. The heat. I did a real short one about to beware, especially in the Northeast, for later June. I think we may get some record heat here or somewhere in the area. Certainly in the summertime, everything lining up. But anyway, I'm being shown fire in the sky. So I don't know if that's like what exactly that means. If that's like a plane getting shot down, or a DEW attack. For those that don't know, that's a direct energy weapons that it's believed, though not ironclad proven, but there's a lot of evidence that supports that some of the wildfires they came up were actually a result of direct energy weapons. So there's usually an agenda to these things, and why things happen in certain areas, because there's always a purpose. There is a deep state, if you want to call it, or a cabal. There's a ruling party that wants basically to be in control of everything. I mean, is enslavement too strong of a word? I don't think so, but that's just my opinion, my take. But whatever the case, things happen for a reason, and certainly some things that happen are just things that happen. Energy happens, changes happen, natural phenomena happens. But these types of attacks, with direct energy weapons. Oh, they're saying plane may catch fire, get shot down, or something like that. Could be news also of an asteroid or celestial event. And on that note, expect some really major UFO either disclosure or sighting or stuff like that. That could be also that fire in the sky energy. So I don't know exactly what that means, but if and when it happens, we may be able to get a little more information. I just shut the pings off for a second. All right, so that would be number one. Where did number two go? Oh, here it is on the other side. So number two, love bomb. Okay, I love this. So the second thing to know, important thing to know about this new moon energy is love bomb. Venus is going to be conjuncting. When Venus conjunct, or Venus is in the act, that's a lot of love. That's a really beautiful, positive energy. It's like the Empress card in the tarot also. So Venus conjuncts at 16 degrees Gemini. So we said that about 3 times now. So I can't even read my own writing, but I feel like this is gonna, for us personally, this can offer like a lot of changes in our romantic life or partnership life. It's more about really being true to ourselves and our own ideals. So if we're in relationships that are less than authentic for who we are as soul, or what we want, or who or what we want in our relationships. I mean, our relationships are always a reflection of ourselves. The more we can be in the love, the more loving, partnerships that we attract into our lives. So I can't read my writing, but changes in romance, alliances in general. Some will have breakups, other will meet soulmates, but it's really, even if there's a breakup or an ending, there's a positive reason for that. When Venus is involved like this, there's a positive reason. The fact that it's hitting 16 degrees, what's unsustainable needs to fall. So in your romantic life, as well as friendship life, partnership life, all that stuff, this is the time to talk anything out, anything that's been swept under the rug. This is the lunation, this new moon, to really uncover that and talk about that. Don't be afraid of loss. If that happens, then it's for the highest good. So this is the time to really just not have anything hidden from yourself, from other people, to make the relationship stronger. And if it's not working, or if it's run its course, some relationships it's naturally run its course, doesn't mean it's bad. It's time to move on from that. Again, love yourself. So the underlying is an increase in the heart's magnitude, helping attune us to higher love and greater connection with source. So work with the heart. We talk all the time about heart-brain coherence on the channel, don't we? So we'll talk about that a little more in a minute. Time to end draining, negative or one-sided connections as we seek more wholeness, completion within ourselves. And that's what the heart does. It allows us to be more whole and complete within ourselves. So then we attract people that are whole and complete in our lives, right? That makes sense. New friends, partners that begin or develop are more aligned with your soul's purpose. So some of this energy, it's time, it's fluid. Some of this may have already happened leading up to this new moon, but for a lot of it, it's in this lunar cycle. So new friends, partners, that the new people coming in are more aligned to your soul's purpose. So to enhance that, go in your heart more, meditate in the heart, and you're going to start to uncover more of your soul's purpose. And the players, whether they be the people or the spirit guides or angels, or extraterrestrial, they're working with you. Saturn square brings up karma. Saturn is about law, right? So karma is part of that. Learning lessons, new information behind our close connections. So bringing up karma is good, because karma can be good, karma can be challenging, but it's good to know. It's good to know what the soul history is, what we need to heal, what we need to enhance in order to make this connection work better. So those on the path of awakening must examine their close connection relationships and make changes to align to new energy and growth. Will aid in bringing partners and friends to you more aligned with your soul purpose. I'm kind of repeating the same thing over and over again there. So that's number 2. So number 3. Here's number 3. Financial blessings. So Venus isn't just about love, it's also about money, by the way. So Venus is a major player. So I'm a Libra. That's good for me. The Libras and the Tauruses, that's good for. Good for everybody though, really. So this is a kind of to act on an important financial decision. So that's for us kind of in our group personally. Good time for that. Make an important financial decision. Venus is conjuncting, but Jupiter is in Gemini. It's not conjuncting, but Jupiter's a player also. Jupiter expands. Jupiter brings luck. So this is a good energy to really delve more into the financial part and what you can do to grow that, to enhance that, and stuff like that. And some of us will just get some good financial blessings or good fortune. Now, define your financial goals. So that's one of the things they were saying. The Saturn discipline actually helps. The Saturn square actually adds discipline to that. To give you the staying power to do the work necessary. Saturn's also about laboring and hard work. So that's good. So define your goals, come up with new plans now, because the facades are falling, new energies coming, you're getting new insights. And money is freedom, money is liberation. It's abundance, right? It's the spiritual, it's the physical counterpart of spiritual abundance. So as I'm talking, they're saying, yes, change your relationship with money, because most of us are programmed negatively around money. And we have to see it more as an energy and a frequency, as a positive thing. The more money that you have, the more you can help the world. You can look at it that way. It's not being selfish acquiring more money. It's expansion and growth. So work on it internally also, changing your relationship with money as well. And the world finance takes a couple of hits. NW, I guess, New World Order, or it could be the Economic Forum. I feel like plans are delayed. What I'm hearing a lot about eliminating the dollar, the flat dollar, digitalizing everything, and they say, I'm just hearing it. I'm talking. They're never going to get away with that. They're never going to get away with that. Try as they may. So So I mean, I'm not getting specifically like, I mean, because it's Gemini, there's certain players involved. Markets can be very up and down, but I think for the most part, it's going to be at least somewhat favorable this period. But again, investments are a little bit tricky right now. And okay, as I'm talking, they're saying you watch out for manipulation of the markets, that you may find somebody involved in insider trading gets exposed, or there's manipulation of these markets again to serve the elite few at the expense of the great many. So these things are coming up, but I think for the most part, some of the there are some financial hits in the world markets, but again, that's a good thing because we want things to evolve into a more fair system, and these are things that have to happen. So number 4 is all new beginnings, all new moons, new beginnings. It's the new moon. This is in Gemini. Gemini is very good for connections. It's also good for making decisions. It's good for communication. It's good for getting your word out into the public, or getting more into the public, to communicate, to build a business or a practice, or to create more money. It's good for multitasking. So all new beginnings favors new paths, directions, new spikes and awakening also. So I think this new moon, because Gemini is air. Gemini is, it's the skin, it's the nervous system, it's our connection to spirit. So Gemini is a very beneficial energy for people like myself to do anything from mediumship to channeling to energy work, because it's energy over distance. It's communication over distance, basically communication with spirit and source over distance, all that stuff. So communications enhanced, so new spikes and awakening. So there's different levels of awakening. There's different types of awakening. I kind of define awakening as spiritual. It's when I realize that I'm not my body, not just intellectually, because somebody on YouTube said it. And when I had my first awakening, it was 1978. There was no YouTube anyway. But all of a sudden, I made the experiential leap, like, oh my God, I'm not physical, I'm energy, I have my body, but I'm something much greater that's working through this physical vehicle. That aha moment, to me, that's a very important spiritual awakening. And there's other levels of it also, but I think you understand that. So we'll see that in the world around us. We'll see that here. We've been in spikes of awakening. April was very busy. May have been a little bit tad slower. June, I think, and July is going to pick up. I think July, August, a lot's going to cascade. And the fall is going to be really, really interesting, but we'll get to that when we get there. Not in a bad way, but challenging, in a good way, but challenging. So communication enhance new technologies. So we may see upgrades in technologies, AI, that kind of a thing. Personal new beginnings favors connections with people. So new beginnings, like who do you want to connect with, or what, this is a good time to do that, to make new connections in your life, whether it's for friendship, romance, your work partners, or new jobs or stuff like that. This is a good time to really make those connections. So how do you initiate new beginnings on the new moon? You either work with prayer or law of attraction. No matter what you do, whatever you call it, you feel like it's already real. You make it so real in your heart and your mind that you can feel it, taste it, and know it, and you become that person. And you hold that, and then you can do that every day, basically, but really be that person, whatever you want to create, whatever new beginning you want to create, and give gratitude, thanks to great spirit, thanks to God. By the way, speaking of things like technology and science, on Thursday, I've got an upload coming out about how to quantum jump. I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy this. So you can apply quantum jumping techniques into creating your new reality also. So 5:30 Thursday, that's when we do our weekly long form video uploads here on the channel. Let's see what else. Personal being people, take a chance. Okay. Think outside the box. Take appropriate risks now. Not foolish risks, but we have to take chances. We can't stay locked into our familiarity. It's uncomfortable to step out of the familiarity. The subconscious is comfortable with the familiar. It's uncomfortable with the unknown. So we have to learn how to override that to be able to do that. So take a chance. Think outside the box. Where's number 5? Okay. overcoming the lower nature. That was number 5. So number 11, because it's really that 11 energy and 20 energy. It's a spiritual doorway. They're both lunar vibrations, basically. Um, you know, so this is a really good time. Again, it's also that Gemini duality, good versus evil, light versus dark, all that kind of stuff. We overcome the lower nature by integrating the lower nature, not by like trying to push it away, but embracing it with love and shining that light of awareness on the shadows. And then they're not shadows anymore. They become your teachers. You start to discover why you've had patterns that are challenging in your life and why you've attracted what you've attracted into your life. And I even wrote down quantum jumping in my notes also. So it's a really good time to do that. A really good energy. It's very spiritual energy with that 11 doorway and assist in overcoming things that may have held you back for lifetimes. Anyway, so some exercises to do or to maybe work on. As I pretty much say every month, so I'm a bit of a broken record. Heart-brain coherence. That's a practice. It's a compassion training exercise that's kind of came about when uh, I believe it was in 1992. Right around then, Heart Math Institute made some discoveries that the heart is actually the strongest electromagnetic generator in the body, and other discoveries came along as well as things around. All right, my signal's a little unstable. Things around like quantum physics discoveries and how like what goes on inside of the atom is a model of how the universe works and all that kind of good stuff. So anyway, so they were able to understand like these ancient practices, like compassion practices, everything from yogic breathing to enhance the heart chakra, to just living in compassion, to things that Jesus taught and all the masters taught, basically. So the way to do heart brain coherence is you get very present, so present. You're not a name, a body, your energy, your frequency, your spirit. And you become very grateful for just the present moment, just the now. And you hold that in your heart. And then you feel what you feel in your heart. You allow your brain to feel. And the heart and the brain are connected. They're two parts of the same organ. As I often say, the heart's the generator, and the brain or the mind is the transmitter receiver of the information. So the heart's the more dominant, but the brain directs that energy. So if you can hold the feeling, which is the heart, that's the energy, and hold an intention, that's the transmitter of information. If you can blend those, then you alter reality, you hack the universe, so to speak, and you manifest whatever it is that you want to manifest. I have all kinds of videos on heart brain coherence, but the basic practice, I like to say, spend about 10, 11 minutes each day. Get very present, open your heart, feel grateful, feel compassion, to hold that. If the mind wanders, just go back to that, but just feel grateful and just hold that. And amazing things happen in the body. It's anti-aging, by the way. They've done studies on that based on telomerase production in the body that helps protect the chromosomes. It increases gamma globulin A in the body. So Joe Dispenza, before the pandemic, when I heard him on an interview, just somebody saying, "So Joe, do you take the flu shot?" And he's like, "Flu shot, flu shot. What do I need a flu shot for? I do heart brain coherence. That's my flu shot." So basically, I'm not telling you not to take vaccines, but I'm telling you that doing this practice enhances your immune system. So that's good. And there's it enhances your intuition, because when the heart and the brain become coherent and they blend, then you become coherent with spirit. That's where the magic really is. And then your superhuman abilities start to become known to you. You may even start to awaken dormant DNA strands and start to do things, spiritually or energetically, that you didn't even know you could do. So practice that, and practice quantum jumping, like I said. And quantum jumping uses heart brain coherence, at least the way I do it and teach. It uses heart brain coherence. You'll get that video on Thursday. Great lunation for channeling, mediumship, and practicing these things. So I say for this month, do some, like, either if you like automatic writing, or if you like voice channeling, or light language, or whatever it is. just spend some time, just feel spirit, just feel like the voice of spirit is just, or the energy of spirit just comes through you and affects your voice or affects your hand, and just talk or just get information, just practice that. Because we're all mediums, we're all psychics, we all have these abilities, and this energy is going to help to open that up more for you. So it's a good time to practice that. And also things like telepathy and distance healing and stuff like that as well. Thank you, Jason. I cut it myself. Yes, the pandemic taught me something useful. How to cut my own hair. I have some divination cards too, so I rely on this for spirit to give me more messages that I may not have necessarily picked up on earlier. So tomorrow is conjunct your natal Jupiter, special year, Mary. Yes, 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 yes. Mine is the 11th house. Yeah. Oh, 11th house is a very powerful house also. So that's your associations and your higher mind and higher intellect. So that's a good one. Yeah. All right. So this is Kyle Gray's Angels and Ancestors deck. And if Doreen's still on and we're real nice to her and send her good vibes, that she may fill in a little bit more of the meaning of this card, because she studies with Kyle Gray, who did these cards. Okay, I have to stop thinking, right? Because when we're thinking, we're not connecting. When we're connecting, we're not thinking, right? Okay, they got me right to the card. Mountain. We've gotten this one, I think, once before. Well, it's the Catskills. You can call them the mountains if you want. They're big hills, but then anyway, it's still the mountains. Stand your ground. Yeah, that's what mountains do, and it's reminding me of I don't think Jen Bergeron's on. She hasn't been on the live stream for a while, but she's a shamanic healer that I know, a friend of mine, and she led me through this exercise to find your power mountain, and it was Cornell Mountain, mine, here in the Catskills. If I go to the top of my ridge behind my house, I can see Cornell and Wittenberg and Sly Mountain from there. I live outside of Phoenicia, so I get a good view of that. Every time I feel like I need to hold my ground, I need to feel more powerful, more grounded, more solid, I'll visualize that mountain, and I'll become one with it and feel like we're one. So a lot of you, this is a message that I didn't get. So that's why I like to pick the card. A lot of you are going to really need to stand your ground, but do it in a nice way. So stand your ground with people, with situations. Try not to give in unless it serves your higher good. You have to use discernment and everything. That hold your ground, basically. And also maybe do some shamanic work with the mountains and find your power mountain. Thank you. Doreen in the Children's School of Yoga are one and the same. So she's confirming the message. And we have our frequency of the week. So I love these Sacred Geometry Oracle card by Lon. Just a beautiful soul also. If you see her picture, she just like glows as well. And very good. So to fan these out a little bit better. So I'm asking you to give us the frequency, the best frequency for us for this new moon cycle. Third eye chakra. All right. So we're meant to, and Gemini is very psychic energy, right? It's air. It's very connected to messages from spirit and stuff like that. So the message here is the frequency of the third eye chakra, the indigo flower of life, supports our intuition and our inner knowing, our imagination and our psychic powers. So I think this is just kind of a reminder to work with our intuition. That's like another message, to do some psychic work or psychic exercises. And because we're doing a live stream, and I like to give you guys a little bit of information about what I've got going on personally that you might be interested in. I'm doing a 3-part mediumship class focusing on how to get the message. So if you've had any mediumship training with me or another teacher, or you feel spirit or have a connection to spirit, this class, it's not going to be about how to connect to spirit. It's going to be what to do when you get there, how to get the messages for yourself and others. So that's a 3-part class starting Thursday, The 13th, there will be information on the pinned comment. You can go to my website, atombetweentheworlds.com, to find out more information on that. And also, we'll back up a little bit, because Tuesday I'm doing, I think there's still a couple of openings. So we're doing a maximum of 10, a message event for 10 people on Zoom Tuesday night. There'll be information on that as well. One other thing, I have to find my notes. There's one other thing. Oh, I just wrote down master teacher recording. I also have meditations for purchase now. The one that I'm working with is the Royalty DNA. And tomorrow, Heather and I are going to be teaming up to do transmissions. When I work with the master teachers, these beings of light and frequency that work with me, they work with my frequencies, and I'm leading the meditation. They activate your energetic fields or assist your higher self in doing that for certain effects. I've got 4 of them available. Yeah, the one for royalty DNA, we all have royalty DNA, encoded within us. If we're actually royalty, that it's activated, but once it's activated, you become the ruler of your own domain, and you become much more into abundance. And then we have the DNA activation one, the deep healing and cellular cleansing, and there's one other, I can't think of it, but if you've worked with the master teachers, you probably feel when they're transmitting, and you probably feel the energy. So if not, you can experience it tomorrow and see what you think about that. So I've got one more, actually. One more. I wanted to do the messages from the angels from Doreen Virtue's past incarnation. I've kind of been sparring with her a little bit on YouTube lately. Not on YouTube, on Facebook. It's because she's kind of gone like a more Christian direction, which I don't have a problem with, but there's a lot of that kind of like programming. I'm not saying she's programmed. I'm not making any judgments about her or anybody, but the posts that come up are very much like, this is bad, this is evil, this is that, but this is what you have to do. And to me, that's just not what Jesus taught. So anyway, I love Doreen Virtue. I do. And I've been kind of, like I said, sparring a little bit with her, not in a negative way or anything, just posting my views. And actually, the last one I did was just telling her, if you approach it this way, people would respond better to you. Basically, like, I'm not telling her not to believe in what she believes in, or not to, or not to be a guiding light for other people on that path. But I think you get the gist of it anyway. So before she really found like a path in I guess it's born again Christianity, she's doing a lot of work with angels and channeling, stuff like that. And we have a lot of beautiful decks from that. So here we go. This is the card that I pulled. I got Rochelle. Oh God, I can't read now because it's getting too dark. As you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is flowing to you now. So that kind of feeds into the energy. And one of the things, I mention my the downloads I have available for purchase with the Royalty DNA. One of the things that they say right at the beginning is that the frequency of abundance is very akin to the frequency of the heart. So they encourage us in this meditation to work with the heart frequency, because that makes us more abundant and more attractive to abundance. So this message is kind of saying the same thing. So again, as you honor and follow the guidance of your heart, prosperity is coming to you now. So open your heart, follow your guidance. It's easy for our brains, our egos, to interfere. Usually, there's a way to tell the difference, but if some thought comes to you and you feel fearful about it, or anxious, or negative in any way, it's more likely your ego. Our ego holds on to these fears because the ego wants us to survive. Fear is not a bad thing when it comes to survival. In fact, it's a really, really good thing sometimes. But when it comes from the heart, or comes from spirit, there's an upliftment. It almost feels very expansive, very loving, very warm. So these are how you know the difference, basically. So follow that guidance. Hi, Lakeside Laura. We're about to end, so you can get the whole whole video in just a second. And I love the cards we pulled today also. So yeah, and if you like this, we're 33 on the chat now, 44 minutes in. So yeah, it's like, YouTube kind of responds to that as part of the algorithm. Maybe we'll help somebody else, that needs to hear this. And I thank you guys. So tomorrow at 7, we're doing live transmissions with Heather Istara, beautiful healer and angelic presence. And then I work with the master teachers, and it's to augment your frequencies, to help you to raise your vibration and frequencies into these new energies, to help you to transcend through this portal. It's a 6-6. It's a numeric portal also, as well as a new moon portal. So we're going to help you to step through those portals to your next level of consciousness and awakening. So that's what we got for you. Love you guys. See some of you tomorrow. Be blessed.